I think it's fantastic.
Like Southport versus Williamstown.
I totally agree with Matthew. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Eddie and Jimmy Wednesday podcast, where we listen to your questions and answer them or agree with them or just totally discard them and throw them in the bin. But anyway, one or the other will happen. Thanks to Fiji Airways and our friends at Hyundai. Thank you very much to Paul Scurra and all the gang at Fiji Airways. Ski G is the new one, Jimmy, where you actually fly to Fiji. You're going to have a break there, get the tan up, and then go to Japan to ski or into Vancouver, or at least North America, the west coast of America. Or if you don't want to do that, well, you can do both. You fly back and then just to frost yourself, get a bit of a tan, fly into Brisbane, Sydney and Melbourne. Fantastic.
Like the sounds of that.
Yeah, and Hyundai, you can do big things in new Alexio. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. All right, let's get stuck into it. Matthew, new competition.
Why don't we have an FA Cup style national knockout comp for non-AFL clubs from the VFL all the way down to country leagues like the Murray League? Imagine a real national cup where a local club can go on a run and the finals is played during the AFL finals bye week with grand final tickets as the prize. Surely missing a massive opportunity for content exposure and proper community footy.
Foxtel did this.
I remember that. I remember watching this. Yeah. It was like during midweek, you'd play some games.
I think it's fantastic.
Like Southport versus Williamstown.
I totally agree with Matthew.
But he's wanting to go down even further.
Yeah, that's all right. But you could have divisions. Yep. I love it. I love the idea of more and more. And these days, you can shoot these things without having to have the full OB set up, and more content and more people watching it and people looking up in the paper to barrack for their old side and all that type of thing. It'd be fantastic. Even if you did regions, it doesn't have to necessarily be, well, it can be the team, that'd be the ideal. But if you had, remember the old days you got picked for the combined side, that type of thing. Fantastic.
Yeah, well, you could do, interleagues and...
Yeah, well, that's it.
Yeah.
But maybe just stick with the teams. But
it's almost like the Herald Sun Shield, but for senior football.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, it used to be what we did with the night competition. One of the cigarette company cups, as it was in those days. You're not allowed to say the cigarette companies anymore, but they were... Well, of course, these days, could you imagine a sponsorship if it was a legal tobacco cup?
Ooh.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have much money.
No, you wouldn't want to say, look at that team, they're on fire.
Jeez.
Right. Very good suggestion. I love it, Matthew.
Chris
that's where the money should be going in. All right? And it's the same for the women.
Yep.
That's where the money should be going in. I said on Monday that the AFL have got to get there. They've got enough money, now allocate it so that the focus is always, even on social issues, but has to be driven into the game of football. Otherwise, that's why we have governments to do those other stuff.
Chriso, ump overload. I think you'll like this one, Ed.
Yes.
There are currently over 800 AFL players, and the umpires appear to have to learn every player's first name. Why? Surely to make the umpire's job easier, forget being on a first-name basis and just use the number on their back. Then they can concentrate on officiating the game instead of learning and remembering the name of some VFL blow-in each week. Reduce the physical load, bouncing, running, and the mental load, using players' names.
Oh, Chriso, we love you, mate. That's been saying it for years. Maybe even put a number on the front. And then when you have the stand, and it's confusing, you just say, number 3, right? But if they know it's you, Jimmy Bartel, say Jimmy Bartel, but the umpires get embarrassed now if they yell out the wrong number. The commentators are paid to do it and they yell out the wrong names half the time. So, not half the time, that's a bit over the top, but occasionally, because it's hard. And, hey, I did. Sometimes you get the wrong bloke. But the umpires, if you just said number 3, stand, and if you see enough of them, you can check your footy record after the game to go, geez, that young bloke, I didn't see him before. He's kicked 4 today. Fantastic. What was his name? Fred Smith. Beauty. Give him a vote. That's it. I like that. Simplify it.
She's going well here. 2 from 2.
2 from 2.
All right. Do you want to go for a hat-trick?
See what happens when Richard goes and Joe comes in. We get a better standard of question.
He's a silly little man, that Richard. You want to go for your hat-trick here? Because you're 2 from 2.
Yeah.
Mitch, seagulls. not Willie. What can be done about the bloody seagulls at the MCG?
Nothing. Oh, they put the strands across. I mean, they used to have a live bird of prey. That kept them away, but then somebody arced up about it.
Didn't they
They
have
had
a
the
fake
noise.
one?
They had the fake one and the noise. But, the birds are pretty smart. You know, it's like, I actually like it. It's like the first person to eat an oyster in the world. That's the bravest person ever, right? Someone's gone, geez, I wonder, what do you reckon? Should I have a look at that? Yeah, I'll have a go.
Well, it's up there. It's up there with how many animals did they go through before they found out the cow produced milk?
Yeah, exactly. but could you, the first seagull that flies down, as soon as you see one, then he yells out to his mates, safe, and then they all come. So I don't think there's much you can do other than put a roof on the MCG. Now, that'd be a good idea.
Come on, Ed.
That would be a good idea. Not just for the seagulls, though, but you got to remember why I keep going about a roof, apart from the fact that we, have a lot more lightning these days and it does affect the ground for other concerts and things that we can do at the MCG. It's the hanging of these screens and everything else that comes with it that we need to do to be on par with international stadiums down the track.
Sorry, Mitch, that's a stalemate on your seagulls.
Not much, unless we have somebody who, we could, have duck season. Could you have...
It's wabbit season.
Could you do that?
Yeah, rabbit season, duck season. Yeah.
Anyway, that'd get rid
Bugs
of
Bunny going on here.
All right. No, that's a joke. All right, I wasn't...
No, what would you say to me on Monday? We've got to stop apologising.
Exactly, yeah, what's a joke? Yeah. All right.
Countdown clock.
Righto, can I read this to you?
Of course you can.
I was at the footy on Saturday night, noticed after a goal was kicked, there's now a countdown timer on the scoreboard for the umpires to throw the ball up. On many occasions, the umpires had to stand and wait in the middle for the timer to finish. The amount of time wasted was further highlighted on the last quarter, where no goals were kicked and the quarter went for only 22 minutes compared to the usual 30 plus. Eddie, can you explain why this would be necessary when it's a Foxtel exclusive game that doesn't have ads between the goals? Excellent point.
Just get the thing.
They don't
piff it.
That's 100% right. I suppose the only thing, Jack, is that they want to have the uniformity, but it could be down to 45 seconds or 30 seconds on a game that doesn't have
it allows
ads.
That 30 seconds allows for interchange and players to get into the 6-6.
Exactly. Yeah. But it does make a good point, though.
Yeah. This one's another one for you from Dion. Retire the number 10. I think Collingwood should retire Scott Pendlebury's number when he retires. He's our greatest ever player and has so many incredible records in the AFL. I think he deserves this number retired, and I think Eddie has the power to make this happen. Your thoughts, Eddie?
No.
You're a custodian of the jumper?
I like the jumpers coming back. I know we have retired number 42 at Collingwood, which was the great Darren Mullanes. And we have spoken with the family over the years, and I think Craig Kelly's keen to get it back in because the number should go on. It should mean something. So I'm not big on it. The reason why we have is because his mother, Denise, was so heartbroken that she just said on numerous occasions, I just don't know if I could watch it happen. So for that, you go, yep, that's part of our club. We look after everybody, and the Mullanes have gone through enough heartache there. I think it's a wonderful thing. I love the fact that, Collingwood were the team that used to be, if you're a captain, you wore number 1 and number 2 for the vice captain and number 3. Going right back in the early days, they actually gave the numbers out in alphabetical order. So, Sid Coventry would be wearing number 3 one year, 5 the next, and 6 the one after that. So it actually went out in alphabetical order. Then they sorted it all out. So I think for Scott, you might give it a year's break, but I'd like to see somebody take that number. Number 5's a big number at Collingwood and went from Nathan Buckley to Nick Maxwell to Jamie Elliott. That's great. That's good to see. Going back to Barry Price, Ronnie McEwen when he was in a grand final, Ronnie Wearmouth. They're great to know all those number 5s. You think of Collingwood, you can come up with a couple of Geelong. Well, number 5 at Geelong's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
But number 22 at Collingwood was, Bob Rose into...
Sidey, of course.
Into John Greening, into Tony Shaw, into Sidebottom. Fantastic players.
Yeah.
So I like the handing on of it. I think it's a good point, Jack.
I can give it a year, and it'd be a really nice touch if you've got a young draftee that Scott Pendlebury really loves. It'd be nice.
Yeah. Well, we used to have that for 35, and then the son came along and he copped it. So he took it. So that was good, and I think that works well. These things can be fluid. You don't have to have them. I think you pay the respect. I'd love to see the 42 come back at some stage. But for me, I'd like to see the training centre at Collingwood named after Scott Pendlebury.
It's pretty fair.
Yep. because he's the bloke who has used that facility better than anybody, and there should be a statue of him when you run out every day to train, to think about how Scott Pendlebury trained and set himself up. If you want to be a professional footballer and get another 10 years at $1 million a year more, do that.
Yep.
Great getting out in the piss with your mates and all the rest of it, but you leave a little bit on the counter.
No, I like that idea. Ed?
We're full of ideas, aren't we, Jim?
Ideas, man.
Or at least full of it, something like that. Righto. That'll do us. Do you want to come back tomorrow and do the prediction?
Sure.
All right, buddy. See you then. That has been Eddie and Jimmy. Everything on Tapped. You can get to us on eddieandjimmy.com.au. Eddie and Jimmy at tapped, Tapt.com.au.